Good evening, viewers. This is the Qtv Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Mamna Buka. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. The Gambia today concluded its first Commonwealth Latimer House Principals Dialogue Conference with the adoption of a National Action Plan, endorsement of the Gambia Communique, and the signing of an MOU by the heads of the Executive, Legislature, and Judiciary. The Gambia Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade, the World Bank, and other partners, on Friday disseminated the findings of the Gambia Labour Force Survey 2026 and the linked progress and trends report. A total of 53 ophthalmic professionals from 19 African countries, including the Gambia, graduated from the Regional Ophthalmic Training Program on Friday, which also marked the program's 25th anniversary. Auto Drive Gambia Limited, the sole authorized importer and distributor of Bajaj Auto in the Gambia, unveiled the new Bajaj 4-valve three-wheeler keke to boost transport reliability and fuel efficiency in the Gambia. In sports news, the Gambia was amongst 74 nations and territories that took part in the opening ceremony of the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Game at the Ovo Hydro Arena on Thursday evening in Scotland. Those were the headlines. Coming up next, the news in detail. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the Gambia today concluded its first ever Commonwealth Latimer House Principals Dialogue Conference with the adoption of a National Action Plan, endorsement of the Gambia Communique on the separation of powers, and the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding by the head of the Executive, Legislature, and Judiciary, marking a significant commitment to strengthening constitutional democracy and cooperation among the three arms of government. Alice reports.
The three-day tripartite conference under the theme Upholding the Rule of Law and Democratic Balance ended with delegates reaffirming their commitment to upholding the Commonwealth Latimer House principles through practical reforms aimed at promoting institutional independence, accountability, and respect for the rule of law. Clerk of Parliament Khalifa Emembai presented the conference outcomes during the dialogue.
These are three documents, and the first one is the Memorandum of Understanding, the MOU, which establishes a structured framework for regular dialogue and collaboration among the three organs of the state, that is the executive, the judiciary, and of course the legislature, while fully recognizing and of course respecting the respective constitutional independence of each of these organs. The second one is the conference communique, which captures of course the key observations, the resolutions, as well as the shared commitments reached during this conference by all delegates here present.
A key highlight of the closing ceremony was the signing of the MOU by the heads of the three organs of the state, highlighting their shared commitment to sustain dialogue, mutual respect for constitutional mandates, and institutional cooperation in the best interest of national development. Justice Senabu Wada Sise said the MOU establishes a non-binding mechanisms for dialogue and collaboration, firmly anchored in the 1997 Constitution of the Gambia and the Commonwealth Latimer House principles.
The duration or time frame for the implementation of the National Action Plan is 3 years, from 2026 to 2029.
The conference, convened under the auspices of the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly, brought together senior government officials, members of the judiciary, parliamentarians, ministers, legal practitioners, and civil society to examine how the Commonwealth Latimer House principles can be effectively implemented in the Gambia. Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow, Speaker Fabakary Tombong Jatta, and Chief Justice Hassan B. Jallow, respectively, gave assurances of their readiness to translate the commitments into actions for the common good.
With hearts united and hands steadfast, let us vow to guard the principle of law, to balance democracy with justice, and to let the Latimer House principles shine as the eternal flame of the Gambia's freedom.
I wish to personally recognize and thank the Clerk of the National Assembly and his hard-working staff. Your administrative rigor, logistical excellence, and the sheer hard work have brought this vision to a magnificent reality. Thank you, Clerk. we must remain committed to the process that has to follow, and that is a continuous one, a process of implementation. And for this, we rely not just on the heads of the organs, but particularly the civil service heads.
During the conference, delegates deliberated on judicial independence, parliamentary oversight, executive accountability, ethical governance, constitutionalism, and mechanisms for enhancing collaboration among state institutions while preserving their constitutional independence. With the successful completion of the conference, attention now shifts to the implementation of the agreed commitments. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The Gambia Bureau of Statistics, GBOS, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, the World Bank and other partners, on Friday officially disseminated the findings of the Gambia Labour Force Survey 2026 and the linked progress and trends report. The findings are expected to guide employment policies, economic planning and future labour market interventions. Usman Jatta reports.
The story of a country's economy is often told through growth figures and investment reports. But perhaps the most important question is simpler. Are people finding decent work? The answer lies in the Gambia Labour Force Survey, a nationwide exercise that goes beyond counting jobs to examine how Gambians participate in the economy, the kind of work they do and the opportunities available to them. At the National Dissemination Seminar, policymakers, development partners, employers and civil society organizations gathered around a common goal, turning statistics into solutions. The Statistician General Nyakasi MB Sanyang says the survey provides credible, internally comparable data to employment, unemployment, labour force participation and working conditions, giving decision makers the evidence needed to shape future policies.
The working age population, age 15 years and older, is estimated at 1,434,115 persons in 2026. The labor force stands at 781,868 persons, with 733,364 employed and 48,504 unemployed.
The report indicates an improvement in labour force participation, increased employment creation and a reduction in both unemployment and labour underutilisation. The Labour Force Survey is more than a collection of numbers. Officials say it provides evidence needed to shape employment policies, guide investments and measure whether economic growth is providing better opportunities for Gambians. For the World Bank, which supported the survey through the Hiswaka project, the report is more than a collection of numbers. Its resident coordinator in the Gambia, Franklin Mutahakana, says reliable labour market data helps governments understand where opportunities are growing, where gaps remain, and what interventions are needed to ensure economic growth benefits everyone.
Let us use this evidence to strengthen labour market policies, improve skills development, support enterprise growth, promote the participation of women and youth, and expand opportunities for decent, productive work.
The government says the findings also carry an important message, which is that while employment indicators have improved over recent years, much of the country's workforce remains in the informal economy, where many jobs lack sustainability, security and social protection. Trade Minister Modke Sise welcomed the development.
The timing of this report is particularly significant as the implementation period of National Employment Policy and Action Plan 2022-2026 draw to a close. The findings presented today will provide an invaluable evidence base for the development of the next National Employment Policy for the next phase, ensuring that future interventions remain responsive in the changing dynamic of our labour market.
Officials say the value of the survey goes beyond the numbers. They believe the findings will help guide better decisions, create more opportunities and shape policies that improve the lives of Gambians. Osman Jatta, QTV News.
Now, a total of 53 ophthalmic professionals from 19 African countries, including the Gambia, graduated from the Regional Ophthalmic Training Program on Friday, which also marked the program's 25th anniversary, celebrating a quarter century of excellence in training skilled eye care professionals across the continent. Yafatugay tells us more.
Today marks not the end of our learning, but the beginning of a greater responsibility. Let us be professionals, known not only for our knowledge and skills, but also for integrity and compassion, humility, teamwork, and excellence.
That was Boubacar Sonko, a graduate, speaking on behalf of the graduating class. The 53 graduates successfully completed programs leading to advanced certificates, diplomas, advanced diplomas in optometry, dispensing assistant qualifications, and orthopedics. They will now return to their respective countries to apply their expertise and help strengthen eye care services across Africa. Dr. Winston Cisse, Chief Executive Officer at the Sheikh Zayed Regional Eye Care Center, congratulated the graduates and encouraged them to uphold the finest traditions of professionalism.
You have been trained as eye care professionals. If this is what you have chosen to do, understand that you have chosen a profession that is regarded as a calling with compassion, care, and healing as cardinal ideals.
Per Mendy, the Regional Ophthalmic Training Program's course coordinator, reflected on the graduates' training journey and commended their dedication throughout the program.
Our exam was conducted to assess the level of the students, to see what was given, whether they've observed or not. And it was shown that out of these 53 students that are sat for the exam, 24 students got distinctions.
Guest speaker and veteran ophthalmologist Ansumana Silla urged the new graduates to remain humble, know their professional limits, and always put patients first.
For the past 25 years, people will come and graduate, train and graduate and go back and serve. Because your people, your organizations, your country have seen the performance of those people. They've got the confidence to send you over here to train. If you go back, please go back from here with your certificate. Not that saying that I am a big man now. You cannot walk alone.
Representing the Director of Health Services at the Ministry of Health, Musa Kamara, commended the graduates and reaffirmed the government's support for strengthening the country's healthcare workforce.
Preventable blindness and visual impairment continue to affect millions of people globally, many of whom can benefit from timely prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation.
The ceremony also highlighted the Gambia's growing achievements in eye care, particularly in cataract surgery, which continues to attract patients from across the region. With this year's graduating class, the Regional Ophthalmic Training Program has now produced 613 eye care professionals, strengthening eye health services across Africa. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafatugay.
That report by Yafatugay will take us on a commercial break. When we return, we have more national and sports news stories. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News and I am Mamna Buka. Now on to the rest of our stories. Auto Drive Gambia Limited, the sole authorized importer and distributor of Bajaj Auto in the Gambia, launched the new Bajaj 4-valve three-wheeler keke to boost transport reliability and fuel efficiency in the Gambia. Here is my report.
The Bajaj RA236 4V is a three-wheeled auto rickshaw or tuk-tuk manufactured by Bajaj Auto, which is India's largest exporter of motorcycles and three-wheelers and which has a presence in over 100 countries across the globe. It is designed for commercial passenger transport and is widely used in countries across Africa, Asia, and Latin America. This has a 4-valve, 4-stroke engine which offers better fuel efficiency, smoother performance, and lower emissions than older 2-valve models. Engineered specifically for the Gambia's challenging transport demands, the new Bajaj model also blends its strong torque and quick acceleration, a hand-actuated reverse system, a silent start generator, an extra centrifugal oil filter for longer engine life, and a standard 12-month engine warranty, making it the only product in its class to offer one. The grand launch ceremony brought together key stakeholders from the national transport sector, public safety officials, and commercial vehicle operators. Biswaranjan Nayak, sales head of Auto Drive Gambia Limited, and country manager Sudhindra Joshi highlighted the significance of the initiative and its expected impact.
It is another step into our commitment to the providing reliable, durable, and fuel efficiency mobility solution to the empowerment of Gambian drivers and entrepreneurs to grow their business and improve their livelihood.
This product is going to be more powerful and more profitable also, and it also will give you more distance, more power and more money. So these three things are the key things which are evolved.
Momodu Suare, Transport Councillor at the Kanifing Municipal Council, praised Bajaj for this incredible innovation and urged them to make it affordable for drivers. As a company that centers customer satisfaction above all else, Sudhindra Joshi shed light on their plans for those who aren't able to afford the keke right away.
We have different schemes for them so that it becomes affordable to own one vehicle. We will work closely with all the riders, and we welcome each and every rider to encourage us and purchase the vehicle, and we definitely will march forward mutually, and we will definitely ensure that there is a more saving for every rider and without much of a problem.
Nuha Jabi, second vice president of the General Transport Union of the Gambia, welcomed the growing use of kekes in the country and called for laws to regulate them as commercial transport vehicles and strengthen the management of the sector.
Today, when Bajka involved in an accident, there is no law who will back that passenger or the driver in this country. This is what we want that law to be here in place. As far as we have the Bajkas and we welcome them, then we need to have a new law to govern these Bajkas and the Bajka drivers.
Apart from the newly launched Bajaj Keke, Auto Drive Gambia Limited also offers a full range of Bajaj motorcycles renowned for their reliability and performance in the commuter segment. The unveiling concluded with the honoring of customers with keys to their new kekes and a profound cultural performance to mark the event, with organizers looking forward to the successful distribution and use of the RE 236 4V. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News.
Coming up next is sports news. The Gambia was amongst 74 nations and territories that took part in the opening ceremony of the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games at the OVO Hydro Arena on Thursday evening. The ceremony marks the beginning of one of the world's biggest multi-sports events. Mamudu Gajaga saw it all unfold and he has the details.
There are feelings of pride and national identity among the Gambians present at the OVO Hydro Arena in Glasgow as the Gambia's name is announced on the public address system. Leading the Gambian delegation of athletes and officials on the march is Osman Job, a swimmer holding the national flag, as Pap D. Junga holds the Queen's baton as they march. Amongst the crowd at the OVO Hydro Arena was Bakari Baji, Minister of Youth and Sports, and Her Excellency Fatou Bensouda, the Gambia's High Commissioner to the UK. They shared their reflections of the opening ceremony and expectations beyond that.
It feels good to be here. It's a privilege, I must say, and of course an honor that we have witnessed yet more another Commonwealth Games after the Birmingham one 4 years ago. And yes, it's good that the Gambia has maintained its stance to be able to qualify, participate in the Commonwealth Games with athletics, judo, swimming, and cycling. And so we look forward to some good performances.
It feels great, and we're looking forward to achieving good things, having a medal or two. That would be quite nice for us, or as many as we can get. We had, in the last Commonwealth Games, we did have a silver medal. Hopefully we get more this year. So we're really very hopeful and anticipating to perform very well.
For the first time in its history, the Commonwealth Games opening ceremony was held in an indoor facility, creating an intimate yet electrifying atmosphere for the 10,000 spectators in attendance. What they witnessed was an epic celebration of Scottish culture, heritage and tradition, with a theatrical entrance that will be remembered for a very long time by all who witnessed it. One after the other, each of the 74 nations and territories marched dressed in their traditional attire, accompanied by music and grand performances. His Majesty King Charles III opened the Games with this important message about the environment.
For these Games, the relay has carried another message: to help remove the plastic pollution that harms our oceans and waterways and can impact on human health.
As the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games begin, the Gambia's first involvement will be to compete on Saturday in the 50-meter freestyle and 100 meters freestyle and butterfly events in swimming. The Games are until the 2nd of August 2026, and the Gambia has sent a high-quality group of competitors. Mamudu Gajaga, Qtv News, Glasgow, Scotland.
Also in sports news, at a packed and eagerly awaited press conference on Wednesday in South Africa, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, the president of CAF, African football's governing body, said not only is he proud of the performances of the 10 African national teams at the FIFA World Cup 2026, but that he is even more confident of soon seeing an African team crowned world champions. More in this report by Adi Darami.
We set very high standards for ourselves. We've got very high expectations. Our clear objective, and we are now more confident than ever before, coming from the FIFA World Cup, is to see an African nation becoming champions of the world. I'm more convinced than ever before that can indeed happen.
That was CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe at the start of the press conference, giving his very positive spin on the performance of Africa's 10 representatives at this year's World Cup. His opening statement set the mood for what is a very upbeat assessment by the CAF boss, with very little in the way of negativity coming from him. At the World Cup, Africa was represented by Algeria, Cabo Verde, Côte d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, Egypt, Ghana, Morocco, Senegal, South Africa, and Tunisia. Egypt and Morocco reached the round of 16, with the latter achieving the remarkable feat of making it through to a second successive World Cup quarter-final. There were also impressive individual match performances at this World Cup by Cabo Verde, Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, South Africa, and Ghana. And in fact, Tunisia were the only one of the 10 to fail to make it out of the group stage or even get a single point. Here's Dr. Motsepe again.
The message is from me and from CAF and from African football enormously positive. Let me tell you something else. If you look at the percentage of African clubs at the FIFA World Cup who qualified from the group stages to the round of 32, it's the highest in the history of African football at the World Cup. The stats speaks for themselves. We had 10 national teams, 90% of them qualified from the group stages to the round of 32, the highest ever. The second highest we ever had in the history of African football was in 2022, when we had 40% qualifying from the group stages to the knockout stages, which is the same as the round of 32 today. In 2018, no African national team qualified from the group stages to the knockout stages.
As the press conference was in his home country of South Africa, Dr. Motsepe could not escape without addressing recent xenophobic violence aimed at other Africans in South Africa. And here is some of what he had to say.
CAF will issue a statement to say that we support legality. We do not support illegality in all its forms. And we fully appreciate that and support and recognize that the duties of every government starts with its own citizens, to create jobs and to create a future for its citizens. But we should stop this intolerance and prejudice and violence against our own people.
We were also told that good progress is being made with the preparations for the Total Energies CAF AFCON Pamoja 2027 and that CAF has launched the bidding process for the member associations interested in hosting AFCONs 2028, 2032 and 2036. All in all, Dr. Motsepe had nothing but positive news to impart. For QTV News, I am Ade Darame.
That's all we have for this bulletin. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. for another bulletin. Thank you for watching.